That is the way life is. That's why I like to stay in the pocket. I like to stay in the pocket. I know that shit's gonna happen. I know people around me. I know shit's gonna, so I like to do minimal that I can do consistently. You know what I mean? Like,
Dude,
what can I do over a long period of time minimally?
You have been the consistent, like you are the tortoise. That's when you came, when I first met you, you were like, that's what I am. Like,
yeah.
But you've been, now it's been 4 years now.
Since almost 3 years of the podcast, 4 years of doing stand-up.
Well, since I met you.
It's like 2 years.
No, because that was the third Mardi Gras was last year.
It was the one before that.
So maybe 2.5 years then.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you've been consistently that.
Yeah, I never stopped.
Well, I mean, right now, I'm a little more erratic than you, but that's obvious. And this right now is like the third or fourth installment of my fucking podcast because crazy shit happens all the fucking time. But here we are in my new studio.
Yeah, what is this? The fourth?
This is like I don't fucking know. It's a bunch. Like me and you have done like 6 podcasts that have not come out yet.
Yeah.
Like,
one has come out on my podcast. If you want to see us talk, it's been on my podcast.
So you are Sam Buck from the Bucked Up Podcast.
Yes.
All right. And that's it. Nice to meet you. See you later. have a good one. No, you're a comedian, a stand-up comedian, or you try to be.
Yes.
Yeah, something like that. Tell me a fucking joke.
It's so funny. I was in Atlantic Records.
That's a good joke.
No, wait. I was with all these rappers that I love in Atlantic Records, and I hate when people ask me to tell jokes because I tell
No,
stories.
hold on, time out. So when you say Atlantic Records, you don't mean like a record store. You mean like Atlantic Records.
Yeah, like in New York, I'm in I'm in Atlantic Records. I was there for a meeting and everything.
Yeah, like you're in like the actual, like you're on like the 24th floor.
I had to give my license. They had to check me in. I have like a little
Who signed to Atlantic Records? That was like
Ed Sheeran, Cardi B.
Okay, so yeah, exactly. Okay, so you're up there.
I'm up there, and I hate when people ask me to tell them jokes because that's just not how my jokes work.
I don't think any jokes work that way.
And so I'm in the smokers room, and everyone was just like,
hold on, they have a smokers room?
Yeah, they have one. It's like just an office that they let people smoke in.
The rappers like took it over. They're like, fuck it, we can't.
That's the smokers room, exactly. So we're smoking.
Doing this shit anyways.
And one of the dudes all chained up is like, hey, you're a comedian, tell me a joke.
Did you just say all chained up?
Like he has hella chains on, you know what I mean?
I'm just so fucking old, like hella chained up. Go ahead.
He has so many, and he's like, tell me a joke. And all the Atlantic execs are in the room, all the rappers I like are in the room, and I'm like, fuck. And I'm like, I don't do that. And they're like, nah, you're a comedian. Like, you just heard us rap. Like, tell us a joke.
Yeah,
and I'm like, fuck. And I'm like, okay, I have one-liner. And this is why I said, I think you've heard this joke.
I
go, MILFs are like used cars. And everyone's like, what the fuck? And I'm like, so what if it has a few dents in it? It fit a family inside of it. and everyone started laughing, and I didn't shit my pants that day.
That's like the music thing too. When I was doing the music shit, it was like, go ahead, rap.
Yeah.
You're like that's not how this works. Like
no.
And funny even more than music is like more of like a vibe thing where like being funny is like it's like a ebb and flow type thing.
Yeah.
It's not like say if you could say something that's funny and it's not funny.
And I get paid good money for like an hour of my time. I get paid way more than anyone gets paid for an hour of their time. You know what I'm saying? So it's like when people ask me to tell, like when I bought my Subaru, the guy was like, oh, every time I go in, I was like, oh, tell me a joke. It's like, give me a discount on my car. Like, I'll tell you a joke if you give me a discount on my car because I get paid to tell jokes. That's like.
I like that too because that's like the artistic thing of like, oh, it only takes you a second. Like when you were like, it took you a while to put to hang everything up, to write everything down,
to figure out the spacing. I understand.
Dude, you know what I was on some smart guy shit. When I was doing the spacing, I did it without I just did it like with my eyes, and like it came out like level and everything. And it's like that's some fucking like shit. Like like human.
I think it depends on the games you played as a kid. Like, if you were good at Where's Waldo, you're good at finding shit. Like, if you were good at Legos and building shit, you're good at, like, this type of shit.
But I didn't have any Legos as a kid. But I do understand what you're saying. Like to an
Or
extent.
fucking Lincoln Logs, whatever they had.
Fucking no. It's like you know what I think it is too. I think it's because I roll a lot of joints. Like I was literally the other day, I was sitting there with somebody. I was talking to them like, I bet you when I'm old, like my brain will still work because of my dexterity. When you're like, because you're so focused in on it.
Yeah.
Like with long joints, and I'm putting a fucking ton of weed in there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I do that 10 times a day. So just over the repetition of that, just has to be. Like,
oh, yeah, and it's also it's something that you can be so good at. Like I'm very good at rolling joints. So like, it's so funny. I'll be sitting with my girl. And I'll be like anxious or mad about something, not at her, but just about life. And I'll fucking just roll up a joint and I don't even want to smoke it. I just like the act of rolling it.
Is that like people that I know sometimes when I'm cooking food, like I'll make this amazing fucking dinner with like I'm like actually making a roux and I don't even know what that is. Like I'm making gravy and I'm like making the things that to make the food.
Did you say you don't know what a roux is?
I don't know what you know. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know.
I thought you were like I thought you said I was making a roux and then I thought you were like I don't even know what that is.
No, I was like I'm like you probably don't know. I'm like you probably don't know what that is because like you're a young single. Well, they're not single anymore, but you know what I mean. Like you're not.
No, when my family and shit. And I want you to get to your point about it, but when my family, like when we traveled, we would go to restaurants. Like that was our vacation.
Okay.
So like food was like that's why I'm a big boy. Like
yeah, you are.
I'm
yeah.
270. You know what
Jesus
I
Christ.
mean?
Yeah,
like,
it's like you. I'm kind of your height. Like obviously way more than me, but like so I don't notice that.
yeah.
But like I'm sure like
I'm also built.
Yeah,
big.
when regular
like,
people like see that's what I'm saying. Like when regular people like. It's just it's one of those like I have to see someone like in the NBA.
What's your pant size?
32, 34.
See, I'm a 46.
That's crazy.
You know what I mean? Like I'm big. Like I'm like a refrigerator. You know.
Oh
I'm
yeah.
like a funny refrigerator. I'm a
like
funny refrigerator.
Do you remember William the Refrigerator Perry?
No.
Man, you got to look him up. There was a guy that played for the Chicago Bears. His name was William the Refrigerator Perry. He was like 6'6", 6'8", like fucking 400 pounds. He played in the NFL, and they were just like he was called the refrigerator.
Yeah.
Like yeah.
No, but it's just like.
But he wrestled too.
But people don't expect me to be big because I think of my voice and how I like. But I am big, you know.
Well, you're 6 foot what 4?
Yeah.
Yes, I mean you're probably top like 0.5% in the world. For
Yeah.
height. Like it's not like if you took everyone
and weight.
Yeah. Like,
yeah.
Yeah. You definitely look like. I just never noticed that shit unless like I'll be in a store or something. Some dude will walk up like next to me and he's like 6'6", and you're like, holy shit! Like that's gotta fucking suck, dude. Like that just must suck. Like,
it must suck.
Like are you in the NBA? Nah. Like oh man, fuck. Like and he's like yeah. I'm like yeah, because these couches and shit. This is actually that's not bad, but like most couches. Cars, desks, chairs, none of that shit fits. It's all like a little bit fucking off.
Well, see, like, all right, so like my girl's 6 feet tall, and so like as a female, it's real. Like that's how she lives life. Is it's like so hard to get shit, and it's like,
dude, I mean, clothes, like they don't sell clothes that fit you anywhere.
No, I have a dumb joke where I go, I like fat musicians because I know I'll fit in their merch. But it's true. Like, I have to get, like, what merch is 3X, you know?
I do 2X, and I know the Gap. I know Old Navy. I know fucking, like, nothing carries my size.
No, nothing carries.
Marshalls, TJ Maxx, they don't even have it.
Nothing. I have to special order my pants.
They go to fucking... How old are you?
25.
Fuck, that's a hit. 25 years old, you got a special order. Your
I do.
Pants.
Like I have a dude who literally is like a clothing. Like he buys clothes and sells them. Like that's like a trader.
Yeah.
And his whole he can't find pants in my size, and he'll hit me up, and he'll always be like, "I found pants that are 46-36." And then I'll always be like, just buy them. It doesn't matter what they look like.
Just buy 'em.
I have like bedazzled.
Dude, you don't even know that like back in the fucking day, because you're like, you guys still wear the skinny shit, but like it's not as skinny as
See, I wear the oversized shit.
No, but you like the underground rappers and shit like that. You hang with all the underground rappers and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And like the hip hop community went from like I'm trying to say that when I was in high school, like I was a size 30, but like I would wear a size 40. Like that's just what you did. Like in like you'd have this fucking big belt and like this all this like jeans would be like bunched. Everybody did it, dude. And like the fucking your pants would be super baggy and shit. And that was the thing. And it was the pants were so ridiculous. Like this Jinkos and shit. And you're probably seeing those. Like I'm talking just regular fucking. Like I never wore Jinkos. People would buy them because they were ridiculously big pants. Yeah. But I'm talking about just regular people wore. Like regular, he wasn't a hip hop guy, and he's probably did the same fucking thing. Like you just buy these big baggy fucking pants, and you'd like get like one of those braided belts, and like you'd fucking like I'm telling you,
I'd have to buy like a parachute.
That's what you would like, dude. I would literally be in like I'd buy like size 40 green Levi's, like bright green 40 size, and I'm size 30. Like I was 100 and fucking like 25 pounds. You know what I mean? Shit like that, and like at 6 foot fucking 1. You know what I mean? Like that kind of shit, and then doing that and. Just like you'd fucking like you'd have these braided belts. Do you guys have those? And like you'd like
I forgot my belt today.
It would be so fucked up, like it would like stretch, and there'd be like a big braid, like you know what I mean? Like no matter what you did, like it would like you put the belt and it would just that was what we did, and then it went to skinny jeans. Now you guys are kind of bouncing back a little bit.
Yeah.
Like can't do any of it.
I like the baggy hoodie. And then these jeans, like
well, you're wearing a shirt right now that's a bunch of different shirts sewn together.
3 shirts sewn together.
Yeah,
pass that joint.
Well, I don't smoke. What? Why can't you just roll your own joint?
Because you rolled shit up for the podcast.
No, I didn't.
I thought you were I thought you were a good host.
Yeah, smoke some of this joint. But grown men don't share joints. And don't be telling me to fucking pass my joint. You say, "Can I have some of that joint, good sir?"
I'm 5 podcasts in. I'll ask for a joint.
But please, sir, can I have some more? Fuck yeah. I've been good, Mum. I've been good. Fucking all right. So, what is going on with you? Before we get into who the fuck you are,
this is one of those late intros.
No, I already introduced you. I told everybody you were Sam Buck from the Bucked Up Podcast. Bucked Up Podcast, Sam Buck. What's the Instagram?
At Bucked Up Podcast.
At Bucked Up Podcast. There you go. You have a big weekend coming up. Not this weekend, but next weekend you have a big weekend coming up. What's going on with you?
I'm headlining Nick's Comedy Stop in Boston for the first time.
Nick's Comedy Stop. Now, from what I remember as a kid and growing up in this area, in the greater Boston area, Nick's Comedy Stop was like, that was the one, right? Isn't that that's the big room?
Yeah, that's where all the Boston legends started. Yeah.
Like if you want to be a comedian, that's like, I'm trying to think of like, what's the one that's about Faneuil Hall? That's not there anymore.
No,
right?
that's the Comedy Connection.
That's not there. Is that still there?
No, there's one in Providence.
Okay, so that used to be that spot in Nick's Comedy Stop. Like the two, like that was it. I saw like fucking Dave Chappelle there, like before he was famous and shit. Mike Epps there before before Friday came out, Second Friday came out, shit like that. But that's dope, man. I mean, congratulations.
Thank you very much.
First time headlining a show in Boston.
First time headlining a club in Boston.
Okay.
Headlining a club is like different, especially something like Nick's. I remember going to Nick's when I was 17 for the first time and being like, wow, people are performing.
That was only a couple years ago, though.
Yeah, 7 years ago. 7 years ago. And it's just an honor to be able to go back now at 25 years old, honestly, and headline 2 shows.
That's pretty fucking dope. How did that come about?
Actually going and getting it. I wanted to reach out to, like, I've just been doing shows, but I don't do a lot of shows around Massachusetts. I work a lot on the road because of the podcast. So I wanted to do some shows in Boston, so I reached out to some of the people who worked there, and I was like, hey, I'd love to do some shows, thinking I'd get like a guest spot or like a feature, and they were like, well, why don't you headline this weekend? You have the credentials for it. And I was like, of course you have to take that opportunity, and that's how it kind of came about.
How did that make you feel when you cold call someone and they're like, you got the credentials? You're like, oh shit, I do have the credentials. You know what I mean? That's pretty fucking dope.
Yeah, it's what I work for. Like, before, we were talking about how, like, I take a tortoise mentality.
Yep.
And I really do. Like, I just am slow and steady. I'll take every opportunity I can get, and I'll work as hard as I can, but I know that it's a marathon. I know that this isn't like a sprint where people will get tired out. Like, I'm going to outlast because I stay in the pocket and I move. So people usually say it takes 10 years to get something like that.
Yeah, it does. Like it's.
I'm May 9th is when I'll consider that I did stand up full time for 4 years. So 4 years I spent, like, before that I had been doing comedy a couple of years, but for 4 years I've been really doing it, and it's right around the same week.
So what can they expect? Like what when I'll come, you said Saturday night, 29th. I'll be there. What can I expect when I come there?
A great time, a funny show. Like, comedy's my everything. Comedy's my life, and I love telling stories. I've lived a life that I don't think many others have, honestly, especially at my age. So I'm bringing some of my funniest friends to open up for me, who I think are the best comedians in town, and then you'll be able to see me doing 45 minutes of comedy of stuff you've never heard before, because I'm original. I think, and that's what I appreciate about my own comedy, is I don't think there's others telling jokes like mine, telling stories like mine, and that's what I like in a comedian, is originality.
Who's some of the people you're bringing with you?
I'm not going to announce those names yet.
Oh, secrets, huh?
Yeah, I'm not going to announce the
Okay.
names, but just know it's going to be hilarious. Hilarious
Okay.
comedians.
How much are tickets?
They're $25.
$25. Both shows?
Yes, both shows, Friday and Saturday.
And what time are the shows?
I'm gonna have to look that up.
This motherfucker smokes a lot of weed.
I do smoke a lot.
Bro, next week.
Something you should expect at my show is the smell of weed smoke. 8 p.m. shows.
8 p.m. shows. They're not cannabis friendly inside the
No,
venue. No, not yet. We're getting there. We'll get to that as well too. So you said it took you that long to get there. What's your last tour that you've done?
I just headlined Detroit House of Comedy, which was my first time headlining a club in a big major city, a major club in a major city, and that was an honor. I was doing some shows in Connecticut. I've been down in Miami, Philly. I've just been moving around. Today I passed 100,000 miles on my car in 2 years.
2 years.
So I'm moving.
There is a thing that, like, I've told you this before, that, like, whenever I'm driving long periods of time to go do something that takes 5 minutes of my time to drive back a long period of time, I always tell myself I'm doing sandbox shit.
Yeah.
And that's happened to me probably 4 times in the last year, because honestly, to get back to what you were just saying, to do something in 2 years that takes 10, those are the kind of things you have to do.
Mm-hmm.
That's just the way it is. There's no other way to it. It's like, how much do you want to sacrifice to be successful? Like, how much of your life are you willing to give up to be successful? Now, I guess the question from that point is, once you get the success, what kind of success are you trying to get? It's like financial stability or fame. I mean, there's, the Jizzle got that great line, like, I ain't wet in cream, I'm wet in fame. I mean, I'm wet in cream, I ain't wet in fame. Like fuck being famous and fuck all that shit. But to be successful, like you're saying, in that short amount of time, you got to do sandbox shit. Like, you just have to. Look at this. Like, you love it because, but it's true.
It is.
But it comes back to, once again, like 20 hours, like in 2 days. Yeah, you know what I mean? It's like just you must meet people too, though, in your travels, because the way you live in your life, and we'll get to some of the people that you know, but you're around successful people, and they're all crazy like that. Like, every single one of them just moves, like, it's just nonstop.
Mm-hmm.
It's non-fucking stop. I don't think people understand that. I don't think people understand, like, how much work and how much, like, just of your time and sacrifice it takes to get to where you are, how fast you got there. Like, I think people see, like, hey, Sandbox, like, headlining a fucking show.
Mm-hmm.
Lucky him. He got lucky. And you're like, what? Like, what are you talking about? Like, when they call, they said you have the credentials. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's just like one of those funny things. I just don't think people really understand like what that takes. Like I think everybody wants that, but like you're understanding in life in real time, right? What like you don't get to have like I know you have a girlfriend, but you don't get to spend the time that you want to spend. Like you don't get to like there's a lot of stuff you don't get to do because you're doing other shit.
But that shit is important too, and you have to treat it the same way. How I think about it is like you have to think of your universe is the most important universe and what you want to create. And that's not selfish because hopefully if you're a good person, the people around you are more important than you. You have to put time and care into them too. And that will make you more successful because how many movies have you watched where it's like the artist burned himself out and he has no one left for him and he's not even making art anymore and he's just sad and lonely, and it's like, yeah, that's a real outcome if you're not putting time into other things too.
Yeah, but like movies are movies. And I guess the real artists, like movies aren't real, first of all. Like whatever the fuck they sell you in Hollywood isn't going to happen in real. I don't know. I get you're still a little young, but like you got to know none of that shit's none of that's accurate. And I hear what you're saying. There is truth to that. There is absolutely truth. Being a good person, putting out good energy makes good things happen. That's a separate thing from what I'm saying. I'm talking about sacrifice to get to a fucking goal.
Oh, 100%.
Like I understand like right now you're reaping the benefits a little bit of the stuff you've been doing for the last 2 years. Because I know like last year you didn't have time to do shit. Like you would like you just put 100,000 fucking miles in your car.
Yeah, but you can also make time to see family, you know? I think everybody has the same 24 hours in the day. So if other people are making it all work, you can make it work too, and you just have to learn how to utilize your time best. Like I try to utilize my time the best. I worked this morning, then I drove here and I'm doing this cuz it's worth it, and then I'll go to Providence and probably do some comedy, and then I'll drive back, and in those 2 hours of driving back, I'll roll myself a joint, I'll listen to music I like, and that'll be my relaxing for the day.
Did you just understand that you just proved my point to me? How much driving is that in one day?
Hella driving.
Okay, how long of a day is that? You woke up at what time this morning?
Probably like 9.
And you've been in how many states are you going to be in today?
Ooh, 3, 4 maybe.
Okay.
3.
And you think that's normal?
Yeah.
See, that's what I'm saying. Like you like.
But I also ate breakfast with my girlfriend this morning. Like I also was able to do that and smoke some weed with her and like
I
make
get that.
it all work.
I get that. But what I'm saying is when you add that to all that driving and all that doing all that shit, for some of it for pay, some of it not for pay, some of it for like whatever, you know what I'm saying?
No, I'm not making any money today.
Today you're not, but sometimes you do.
Yes.
But today you're not.
No.
How many people do you think want to do that every day and not make money? And how long are they going to not make money doing that before they're like, you know what I want to do? I want to hang out with my girlfriend all the time.
Yeah, yeah, but then they're just gonna burn out and like.
But this is what I'm saying though. It's like people want the headline, but they don't want to drive to New Hampshire, to Massachusetts, to Providence, back to Western Mass. I mean, you're gonna be in the car today for 10 fucking hours.
Oh yeah, but it's all worth it because it's cool. Like people enjoy it. If I was doing it for nothing, I think I would get burnt out.
Because no,
it's worked. Like the past 3 days, I've had over 10,000 people watch the podcast each day.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
Damn, I'm doing something right.
You're doing everything right.
You know?
But what I'm saying is, you do that every single fucking day.
Yeah.
When you say that, to me, I'm like, yeah, that's normal. To maybe Chris is like, that's normal. To someone like Benny or something like, or to those guys, that's fucking normal. Because that's what you do every day.
Mm-hmm.
To the guy that lives next door to me, you're a fucking insane person.
Oh, yeah.
To the people that live downstairs, to your uncle, to your aunt, to your cousin, to your fucking the guy that you used to work in the supermarket with, to the guy that pumps your gas, to those people all think you're fucking crazy.
But to bring it back to my craziness is like, all right, so I'm headlining Nick's Comedy Stop. I was written about a full article.
Yeah.
Sam Buck is best friends with your favorite rapper, Harvard Crimson. I headlined Detroit House of Comedy. I'm one of 15 people that have ever interviewed West Side Gun, which is probably the most niche of those things. I am on a Conway the Machine vinyl.
Didn't you just come out with another one too?
Nothing.
I thought you just got another one.
Oh, I was just on the SDNAC VDON vinyl too. Like all those things, like it makes it that I'm not crazy. Even just the Harvard thing. I can send the Harvard thing to my grandma's friends, and they're like, Harvard.
You're missing what I'm saying. I don't think you're crazy. What I'm trying to say is I'm trying to paint a picture for people to all those things that you just said that are awesome.
Yeah.
And I agree. And like, I can go down a list and we can do that shit.
I agree that I'm crazy about that.
No, but what I'm saying is that regular people want to headline shows and want to do all those things, but they don't want to drive 10 fucking hours a day to not get paid for fucking 28 days out of the month. For the one fucking day of the month, you get to interview fucking Conway. Do you understand what I'm saying? But you still got to drive 12 to 20 fucking hours every other day. You don't get paid for anything. You don't get any fucking interviews. You don't get to do shit. You got to sit in your fucking car, eat shitty food, and fucking like talk to your girlfriend or be in a goddamn fucking movie theater. Like I've seen your shit. Like that's the shit you got to do to deal with to get in your shit because your fucking life is focused on headlining the comedy stuff, which not a lot of people get to do at 25 years old.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? That's what I'm the give and the take. That's what I'm saying. Like
your life is exactly how you create it, but you have to realize what it takes to create the thing you want.
How about if I explain this way? If you want to make $1 million, right? That's almost easy. If you want to make $1 billion, that's other work. Like the amount of sacrifice to make $1 million is like what we're doing right now. That's the sacrifice to make $1 million. Most people don't want to sacrifice 20 hours out of their day. They just think that's insane. They want to work 8 to 10 hours a day, maybe max. You know what I'm saying? Not only that, you got to work 20 hours a day, plus have other shit going on in the background, that kind of stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Regular people don't want to do that. That's just to make $1 million. To be like the number one guy, to write number one songs, like how much effort goes into it? Like when Conway does a fucking album or Benny does a fucking album, like even just a song. Like, so let's just get it. So obviously, to introduce who you are a little bit in that aspect, you started with, you want to tell a story about Griselda just to bring us up to speed on like, just kind of like I've heard it so many times. I want to say like you went to a meet and greet like 3 years ago to meet Conway. Mm-hmm. That's the rapper from Griselda,
like 5 years
Shade
ago.
45,
like 5 years ago,
Shady Records, all that shit. The guy with the face, like half of his face is like paralyzed from getting shot in the face. You went to go meet him at a meet and greet, like in Buffalo. Had never been there before. Now, don't let me. Excuse me, I'm telling your story.
No, I was in Boston. And I followed him outside after a show, and we just smoked and talked about rap and me doing comedy and shit like that.
And how old are you at the time? 20 years old?
Yeah,
5 years ago. So you're a 20-year-old kid approaching like a fucking gangster rapper.
Yeah, don't
like,
follow rappers outside.
Like you're just approaching like random fucking people on the street. Okay, so go ahead.
And I just loved his music so much. He did inspire me. And then when the pandemic hit, 3 years ago, I wanted to start a podcast to hold myself accountable. And I was being inspired by Griselda, and I ended up getting to interview Conway and Westside Gun, and I went out to Buffalo.
Yeah, but it wasn't like you just got to interview them. Now, see, this is where you're going to be humble a little bit, and I have to kind of explain who you are a little bit. That Sam somehow, I don't want to say Forrest Gumped it because that's not
That's
accurate.
a good way to put it.
No, but it's not because you work your ass off.
Yeah,
so it's not. But you do end up in situations that you're like, what? How the fuck? Like you were just in the 50 years of celebrating hip hop at Harvard University.
Yeah.
Somehow a 25-year-old kid from like the bumfuck nowhere,
from
like,
Fitchburg, Massachusetts.
Is like, how you even got into that? Whatever the fuck. Like it just okay. Yeah, sure. But you're a guy, a guy that wanted to hold himself accountable and start a podcast, which we'll get into your podcast as well too. And then what you went and did was you went to Buffalo to meet these guys. Somehow you've impressed them enough that you've been on Fuck That's Delicious. You're in the background of all the fucking pictures. I know I've seen you on stage in front of like 20, 30,000 people with them multiple times. Like you didn't know them.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, they fuck with you.
Yeah.
Like they like you and fuck with you. Like you're friends. Like you guys are the way me and you are friends, you're friends with them.
Yeah, 100%.
Like you're probably closer to them. You hang out with them fucking more. You know what I mean? Like, But you didn't know. You've known me as long.
Yeah. But I have that thing. Remember, you were trying to describe that thing that, like, that some people have it and some people don't, and it's that drive and they see that in me. And
I'm just describing to these people who you are.
No, I
Yeah,
do understand,
yeah,
but
yeah.
I want to say why, like, I'm in there with them, you know? And before, when we were talking, you were talking about, I don't even know if it was on camera, but like how people ask questions.
Yes.
And I just have a unique way of interviewing people.
Yeah, you do.
And I have a very niche interest. So I got to be big in this music scene that ended up blowing up that I didn't even realize was going to blow up like it did. Because I was the person who was most interested in it.
It would be like someone wanting to, I don't know, fucking Tyler the Creator. Like, let's suppose you like Tyler the Creator. So right now you go to one of his sign-up meet and greets, and within 2 or 3 years you're on his fucking album and hanging out with him all the time and like know his kids and shit. Like, that's fucking crazy. Like, you're not a rapper, dude.
Yeah, but I'm a comedian.
You know what I mean?
But I'm a comedian.
So fucking, but you're not on Conway's album for telling jokes.
No.
So
for talking real shit. And the same thing with the SD-NAC album. When they told me I was on, I was like, damn, is it going to be me saying some dumb shit? But no, it's me talking some real shit.
No, why would it be like you don't really talk dumb shit? And if you do talk dumb shit, you're like, I'm a comedian.
Literally,
I get paid more money than anybody in the room to fucking do these shit. I heard you walking in with that fucking kids fucking walking in with three shirts. This thing probably costs money or something.
Nah, this shit was free. Every shit.
Nah, but I remember like I see Knox and he got like the fucking I can't even say the name of the kind of whatever.
Yeah.
He's got some hoodie on. It's like $20,000 hoodie, and now I'm like, oh, here we go. Like fucking.
But I will give you this. I do think about me 3-4 years ago a lot. Like, I'm like, because I do feel like I now have some sort of like, I can take a deep breath and be okay about who I am. But 3-4 years ago, I had no idea who I was. And I didn't know what my place in this universe was supposed to be. And through that music and through comedy, through those two things, through like basically rap music, but Griselda and comedy, I was able to find who I was. And when shit's that real, when you're supposed to be doing it, like, they wouldn't have me around if I was posing.
No,
I'm not.
I wouldn't have you around if
you're posing. Because that shit's like,
but
this shit's real, and that now I know, and I look back and I'm like, wow. I just put my heart and soul into the things I enjoyed, and it worked out.
Why do you feel the need you need to defend yourself of like why you're there?
I enjoy it.
You enjoy defending yourself?
Yeah, I'm a very anxious person, and I feel like I have to sometimes. The shit I like is niche, so I feel like sometimes I do need to like.
You keep saying that your shit you like is. I got a 2-part right here for you. You said you think a lot about you a couple years ago, right? Which I think is hilarious because, like, you're still like you didn't know your place in life was, dude. You're still a kid. Like, I'm 42, and I have no idea my place. I'm just starting to figure out my fucking place in life, and I've been to a lot of fucking places in life.
Yeah.
And none of them matter. All the shit you think, none of it. Like, in every couple of years, it just changes again. It doesn't fucking matter. So like, that's gonna be a continuous thing for the rest of your fucking life. But do you ever think about yourself in 3 years from now?
Yeah.
That's like what you should be focused.
But that's what I mean is when I think about the past, I guess I think about the future too in that way where it's like I believed in myself fully and I made it to this point. So if I keep believing in myself fully, then I'm going to keep going up. Like,
I agree. And okay, but let's get back to on your podcast. It's like a self-help. You interview rappers. Not just rappers, comedians, and like people of interest. I've been on other people of interest, just anyone that's interesting people.
I want to have cool conversations.
Cool conversations with interesting people. But yours is a self-help podcast that you wanted to hold yourself accountable for, right? I'm going to ask now, maybe self-help with your shit. Like, why do you feel the need to defend why the fuck you're at the table? Hold on. Because I know a lot of other young guys like you that accomplish shit real fast that do have that in them. Are you like who fucking cares? Like, you're at the fucking table. Suck my dick. Like, You know what I mean? Like, you don't have to tell anyone why. That's none of their fucking business.
Yeah.
The people that built the table and built the house, they invited you to sit the fuck down because they're looking from outside on the porch. You don't got to answer to them. Don't worry about that. You know what I mean? Like, I just don't know why you feel the need. Like, oh, no, I deserve to be. I know you deserve to be there. That's why you're sitting right here. That's why your story's so interesting because you are. I call you a fucking Trojan horse.
Yeah.
Because people look at you and take, like, they got to sit down and talk with you for a minute and go, oh, fuck, this kid knows what the fuck he's talking about. You know what I mean? So don't feel the need. You're always talking about self-helping and you know, working on self. That's why I'm curious to know why someone like you that walks in here and says, like, you know, I make this and do that, blah, 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 and you have a lot going on for yourself, feels the need to have to justify why you get those accolades.
I think my anxiety, because I definitely am someone who deals with anxiety, I think my anxiety pushes me to not like my stuff, so it pushes me to always want to better and always want to drive 20 hours or drive whatever, but that's a double-edged sword because it also pushes me to not like my stuff. So it's like other people like it, but I don't like it, so I want to keep getting better, but it's not like I know what in 3 years I'll like. If me right now would like what I'm doing in 3 years, but me in 3 years isn't going to like what I'm doing at that moment.
I think there's a little bit of both of that. When I look back on my old catalog of music and stuff, I'm like, out of like 30, 40 songs, I could pick out like 10 that are like really, that still really like hold up. But the other, like, there's 20 that are like decent, and there's 10 that like fucking whack. You know what I'm saying? So I hear what you're saying with that. But like Great Mind, though, like I think transcends that. You know, I think that if you just focus on like art, like just the reason you don't like your shit is because Great Mind, creative mind, you already did that shit. So why would you like something you've already done? You're always trying to do new shit. What's funnier? What's the next angle? Who hasn't said this yet? Who hasn't thought of that joke yet? Why the fuck do I like shit? You know what I'm saying? It's like, why would I like the music I've already read a while ago? Like my bars got better, my shit got better. I learned to make better beats. I learned how to play these instruments. I learned how to work these programs, like how to write, you know, better, like, you know, tighter shit. You know what I'm saying? So you always, if you ever want to advance, no one. I bet you like Michelangelo hated his old shit. Van Gogh hated his old shit. Everyone wants like Jay-Z's old shit, and Nas's old shit, and Kanye's old shit, but they're always like, fuck my old shit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, but it's classic. You know what I mean? Shakespeare was probably like, I fucking hate that Romeo and Juliet shit. Like, fucking, this shit's fucking whack. You know what I mean? Like, we need like more dynamic fucking, you know what I mean? Like, this shit's chips. Anyone can write this crap. You know what I mean? Like, so but just, I don't think anyone likes their shit. Like, that creates.
Yeah, but I think if you make a certain amount of money off of it, it'll make you feel a different type of way, and I'm not at that place yet.
I would tend to disagree with you again, because when you hear people that make a lot of money off shit, like Radiohead won't do Creep, like Andre 3000 won't do Hey Ya, they just won't do those songs. Like, I remember like Everlast telling me personally, like, that he fucking hated Jump Around, like despised that fucking song, like hated it with a passion.
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure I saw an interview with him lately, said like he came back around, he liked it again. But like, just that shit, you know what I mean? Like, I bet you Vanilla Ice hates Ice Ice Baby, but he made a fucking $1 billion off it.
Yeah.
And if people think he didn't, they're fucking retarded. You know what I'm saying? So like, you know, I don't know. Like, I think that comes back around. But if you're someone who wants to progress, like, artistically, like, that's why all these like rappers, they always change their style. It's like, I already did that. You know, you have someone like, these rock and roll guys come up with a whole different fucking genre. You know what I mean? Like, they just like, I did this shit. Yeah, I can make another one of these. But like, what the fuck's the fun in that? That's old shit. That's whack.
Yeah.
Like, Nas probably hears Illmatic and thinks it's whack.
No, I do feel I'm not comparing myself to any of those people, but like when when I listen back to my old shit, I'm like, damn, my podcast was so different. Like, because I have 260-something episodes, 268, I think, episodes. Like, when I go back to listen to, like, 130, I'm like, damn, I was talking about doing DMT right off the bat. Yeah. First question of the podcast is, tell me if you've done it. Yeah. I'm like, that's not who I am now. Like, I'm a different person. I don't do psychedelics like that. Like, that's just so funny. That is a weird thing. And I do enjoy my podcast in that way, that it's like a journal. Like, it's like I can go back and be like, oh, there's a journal of my life. It just happens to be with cool people on the other side of it, you know?
Yeah, you get to like, it's almost, that's a new thing too, because like we all have that now as well with like social media. Like you can just look back and fucking just from the dawn of fucking time, like someone like you, not me, because I grew up at a time that didn't exist, but like you, from as old as you fucking could probably remember, you've had a phone.
Phone. I remember I got my Facebook in like sophomore year of high school.
I mean, that's old. I'm sure that's like not the norm anymore. I'm sure there's kids that are like fucking 9, 10 years old that have fucking, or not, whatever. They're not even on Facebook. They're like some new app that we don't even know what or I don't know what the fuck it is. It's like, I didn't even know what WhatsApp was, and there's something that's like that's old now. Like that's cornball shit. Yeah, you're like dude, like no one's on that shit.
I don't pay attention to any of that shit.
Dude, you just came in saying like dude was all hella chained up. Stop it. Stop it. You and your fucking your underground fucking rapper friends.
They're all older. I'm like the youngest guy in there.
They're not. How old are they?
Conway's like 40.
Oh no, those. Yeah, but Conway's not an underground rapper.
No. I mean, yeah, I get it. But I still
They're doing arena tours and shit, dude. Like,
yeah.
what the fuck you talking about? Fucking doing festivals and arena tours. Yeah, underground rappers. They were signed to Shade 405 for millions of fucking dollars. They've gone platinum multiple times. Harvard. Tell me about Harvard. Tell me about Harvard.
The Harvard shit's so crazy. So shout out 1,000 Words.
Okay, so who is 1,000? So I kind of know who 1,000 Words
1,000
is.
Words is a photographer. He does only Polaroid photography.
Okay.
But he's made such a name for himself that he's been published in Polaroid books, like, and he kind of, it's like the same lane that I am. He takes Polaroids, and if you get 1,000 Words Polaroid taken of you, you're like that's a ticket, you know. And so he. Backing the story up, I was written about in Harvard maybe like a year ago at this point about my podcast and about stand-up, and that was through Bruiser Brigade, actually. But 1,000 Words was also interviewed by them, and we're friends. So 1,000 Words and Harvard started putting the Harvard Crimson, Ryan, shout out Ryan, from the Harvard Crimson, started putting together these interviews at Harvard, and it was all the biggest underground rappers. They were doing interviews. We were doing tours of Harvard, just doing videos, stuff like that, for the 50th year of hip hop, and then through that, 1,000 Words ended up making an album with the rappers. So it's like a Harvard album to celebrate the 50th year.
But which is dope, and I want to get into that as too. But like you've been to Harvard for more than that though. Like that's just one. Like
yeah, we've just been there for talks. I've done the interview there.
Well, time out. So Harvard is like one of the most prestigious universities in the world.
Yeah.
All right, you can't just walk in there and do talks.
No.
Okay.
I got a job. I got a job when I was in college from an ex-girlfriend's dad who worked at Harvard. He got me a job for a summer. No. He got me a job for a summer, and then we broke up. And then I had to work in the office with him. And then I got fired from that job for smelling like weed, probably. And they never told me that was the reason, but I think that's the reason. So I was like, damn, Harvard, I could never get in there. I got the job through that and nepotism, and I lost so whatever. Then through this, like literally through talking to rappers about what I talk about, I got written up about in the Harvard Crimson, the oldest college newspaper in the whole country.
Yeah, the whole country. It's fucking dope. It's an accomplishment, and you didn't go to Harvard.
No, I could never have gone to Harvard.
But you've been there. Didn't you do like a talk there too as well?
So we did like a round table discussion. Cool thing about talks at colleges is no, I didn't like do a talk at Harvard, but I did do a talk at my college that I went to.
Okay.
Wheaton College.
Tell me about it.
Yeah, I got to talk to the film and new media students. The major that I
recently?
had.
Since you've been doing your podcasting?
Yeah. About that. About becoming, following your dreams.
Dude, weren't you telling me a funny story? Like you were the second most famous guy, like from your college. Like, weren't you telling me that? Who was the other guy?
From my college?
Was that you? You were like, the alma mater?
No. But I was like, damn, am I the most famous person from my high school? And then I was like, no, there's someone in the NHL who's like a starting goalie, and I'm like, damn, they're way more famous than me.
Well, maybe not. You know, you gotta fucking still work on that.
There is a more famous Sam Buck, who's a country.
That's what it was.
He's a country singer.
Yeah, that's
actually,
what it is.
I don't know if he's more famous than me at this point.
There was somebody, I forget, the other day I was telling someone to Google something. It was something ridiculous. And it didn't pop up, and but they said like it did, and I was like, if that popped up, like they've made it. Like, you know what I mean? Like if you type in some ridiculous shit and that's the first thing that pops up, like
if you typed in "bucked up," there's like a right wing hunting supplement called Bucked Up.
Hold on, a supplement?
Yeah, like a steroid.
A hunting steroid.
Yeah.
So you take steroids to go hunting.
Yeah. To like keep you out in the fucking wilderness, you
As
know?
it's probably one of those guys' shirts that you fucking
yeah,
wear.
with the camo.
Fucking. So you need. So it's. I wonder if it's like. Have you gotten any?
No.
As a comedian, you've never just been like, I have to get this shit. I gotta write a bit on it.
No, because they seem kind of right wing, so I don't really want to support their like.
Yeah, but you could just talk mad shit about them.
I could do
you
that.
Think that's?
But then I don't want them to sue me over the name.
Yeah, true, yeah. Oh yeah, true. Yeah. Yeah, that's fucking crazy. No, dude. So Harvard, like, it's just it's a wild ride for you since I've known you. Just a lot of shit that's going on.
And it all happened so fast that I forget about shit. Like it's like. Because I move slow and steady, so much crazy shit happens that you're like, oh, yeah, weren't you on another album? And I'm like, oh, yeah, I was.
When I said, where are you going to be in 3, like, you think about yourself in 3 years? Like, what are you thinking? 3 to 5, 10? What's the goal?
To just keep doing what I'm doing on a bigger scale and keep growing it. And my podcast has no structure. I can talk to anybody I want, so my interests always grow, and why wouldn't I want to keep talking to people I'm interested in? So just keep growing that, keep doing stand-up and growing that. I want to be touring around the country, like clubs, selling tickets. And of course I have other ventures I want to do, but I also want to stick to what I love and what I'm good at, which is being myself, and how I show myself best is through my podcast and through my stand-up comedy.
Okay. That's it's pretty cool how you can just do that kind of shit now. Like that wasn't once again, like even this like setup here, like 10 years ago, 15 years ago, this is double, triple the money. It's still not cheap, but like triple the money. 20 years ago, fucking forget about it. Like you had to go to Hollywood to you couldn't.
You had to be Johnny Carson, like, you know?
No, you had to go and be in fucking Hollywood. Like, you had to physically be there because, like, what are you going to have, a fucking camera? Like, you're not going to, now you can do this shit, like, on these, sufficiently enough.
Yeah.
You know, that's brand fucking new. That's only, like, 2, 3, fucking 4 years old of that. You know what I'm saying? To the point. But it's just cool that now you can, with the right determination, getting up every day and being consistent and doing it.
And staying in bed, too. Staying in bed, being a little lazy. You need to give yourself those days,
Yeah,
too.
but those aren't like...
You can be lazy in the morning, but then kick your ass in the afternoon. That's what I'll say, you know?
I'm willing to bet that your definition of lazy and, like, the actual lazy isn't, like, the same thing. 'Cause I only assume that, and I am assuming, because I know that I'll beat my own ass over shit, that I'm like, I'll make $300, $400 in the fucking day. I'll get like 4 things done. I'll write the article. I'll like cross mad shit off my list, but my list had 12 things on it, and I got 8 of them done. And now it's 10:30 at night, and I'm sitting down for the first time, and I'm like watching like YouTube for like a half an hour, and I'm like, oh fuck, I'm lazy.
Yeah.
But that's not like,
no,
that's insane. That's insane logic.
But it's also not. Like, you also got to think about if someone has to go and clock in at a job every day. They have to put those hours in. We don't have, like, hours.
Yeah, but they don't put those hours in. They put 8 hours in. If you put 8 hours in, think about it. Yeah, like, that's not fucking possible. Like, of course, like that's ridiculous. Like, you can't, like, no, 16, 14, 16, like, it's...
Yeah.
I mean, don't get me wrong. Once every 2-3 weeks, you're going to break down because of the exhaustion, and you're going to fucking sleep 20 hours in a fucking day like everyone else that's crazy does. it took me, right? I was in New York, like literally 2 weeks ago in New York for someone's birthday. And we walked probably like 5 or 6 miles through New York, like throughout the day. Great day. And then like nighttime comes, and like I'm walking the Brooklyn Bridge. We had to get a cab back from Brooklyn and stuff because like they couldn't like walk anymore, and like their feet hurt and stuff like that. And we get back to the hotel, and I'm like, fuck this, like I'm going back out. And like I ended up walking 14 miles to like 3 in the morning taking pictures, 2 in the morning taking pictures, because I was in Brooklyn and I was out by myself doing what I wanted to do and getting it all the fuck in. And then like when I'm doing this, no one else, and I can show you the actual 14 miles that that's how I know I walked. It was 13.72 miles, and like that's ridiculous.
Are you an only child?
Yes, but no.
Because I think it's an only child
No,
mentality.
I'm adopted. I'm adopted.
Oh yeah,
but I have a younger sister and I have older siblings. But my childhood, I was alone a lot. So not even just that, just maybe who I am.
But you're okay with being with yourself. I'm the same way. Like I enjoy that. I have done that in New York. I used to have a studio in New York, and I would, during the pandemic, everything was shut down at 10, so I would take mushrooms, and I would walk around the city, and I would walk miles and miles.
Okay, so we're back. So we'd walk miles and miles, right?
Yeah.
And then normal people will stop. And then I'm like, oh, I have 48 hours more in Manhattan. I'm going to walk for 13 more miles and be upset that other people can't do that. And then you got to like stop and think, nobody can fucking do that. That's crazy to think that. And I'm all going, why wouldn't you be here taking this picture right now after walking this long? Because like it's the only time you can take it. Other people are sleeping. Yeah. Because that's crazy. You can't. You'd probably be out there walking with me. Maybe even he would. But the other 35 people in this building would not be there. Because that's fucking crazy. Because they already walked 7 miles. Walking 7 miles in one day is crazy. Walking 21 miles in a day is fucking lunatic shit.
Yeah, but something I hate is I don't want to look back at, like, when I'm an old person, look back and be like, damn, I wasted all my time.
That's why I do it.
Yeah.
But I'm saying that's, if you think that anyone else is built like that, you're wrong. Like people, and you can't expect them to be, is kind of my point. Like, it's kind of like when you think, because you're thinking still with the mindset that everyone has your work ethic and everyone has your logic, and they don't. I've met a lot of fucking people, and you're also moving in circles that you're surrounded by people that all have that logic.
Yeah.
It's like when you are at a party and everyone's fucking drunk, and you go out to breakfast and you think that like, oh, we're fine. You go to breakfast at some restaurant when no one else is drunk at. You're now fucking the loudest, craziest people in the fucking corner, but at the party you were just regular people.
Yeah.
You're watching the NBA, Michael Jordan's short. You know what I mean? Like Rondo is short. You know what I mean? Like, but he's not. But to everyone, you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's like you're thinking in those terms. You got to be like, no, dude. Regular people work 8 hours and they go home, put their fucking feet up, and eat some fucking shit, and they get so that's what they do. Yeah. They don't.
My dad used to tell me that a band is only as good as its weakest player.
Of course.
And I think that's about life. Like I want to be like the weakest person that I'm around, because then I'm only going to get better.
It's like, though, in one sentence you can say that I'm the only person who has like done this as far as like headline Knicks at like this young, not you say the only person, but you're like, it takes people 10 years. You say it takes people 10 years to do this thing. But then in the same breath, you're like, yeah, but everyone's like that. So why it take everyone 10 years? It took you 2. You know, that's what I'm trying to say. It's like your brain works on a different level.
But I think anyone can hear how I feel about it, and that I haven't lied about one thing that I've said, and anybody can hear that and be inspired by it, and maybe it'll awaken them. I was
cool.
Asleep at one point, and I was awakened.
How did that happen?
I mean, do we really want to talk about it?
Yeah, go for it.
I went through a really bad breakup, and the girl I was dating at the time was like, hey, you're kind of a piece of shit. And I was like, no, I'm not. Whatever. And then I was like really depressed. And I was like, fuck. Like, I need to get out of this. Like, I'm at a really low point, and I don't know how to get out of this. I was drinking a lot. I was just at a low point. And so I did this psychedelic drug called DMT
Here we go.
with a shaman. And he did these chants, and I broke through. And in that trip, I just learned that I kind of did suck, but that's okay. And that you just kind of need to take yourself seriously to move forward. And that's what I did from that moment on, is I knew that shit, like if I don't take myself seriously now, I'll never take myself seriously. And that's when this Sam Buck became this Sam Buck. That's why I will travel. That's why I will not drink a lot, not become an asshole, like while not yell, and while not like why I'm just even keeled and just know that I have to just believe in myself, be my best self, and keep moving forward. And that did come from that trip. And it also came from my ex telling me I was a piece of shit because she was right.
Now, in that trip, right, when you said, like, in that trip, I realized, like, I was being an asshole. Like, what were some of those things?
Why was I not? Why
Yeah,
was I
what was the self-realization?
Because I was just I wasn't taking myself seriously, like actually taking myself seriously.
What do you mean by that? Like you weren't getting up and going to work in the morning, or you weren't like
no,
you didn't think you were
like,
good enough, or
I knew that what I'm doing now is what I wanted to do, and I wasn't doing it, and I was drinking, and I was hanging out with people that were also doing nothing to just pass time by.
That's a
I
big one.
realized that time is important.
Yes.
And that's why I hope I awaken people with this, is like time is important, and you can do what other people do in 10 years and 4 years, even if you're less talented than all of them, just because you realize time's important.
Talent actually isn't that important when it comes to that kind of
Hell
shit.
no, I suck.
Talent is important. You do
I
suck.
don't suck.
You do suck.
I don't suck.
But talent is important, but like it's probably like 30%. Like there are generational talents that do nothing, that you've never heard of them. Generational, better than Michael Jackson, Kanye West, and Prince put together. Like better than all of them, but you've just never heard them because they have no motivation, they have no ambition, they have no self, any of that shit. Like the best. I love the Ron Artest documentary. Are you into basketball at all? No. Do you know what Ron Artest is? Okay. Ron Artest was one of the. You know what the Malice in the Palace was when they ran up in the stands and beat the fuck out of the stands? When the Pistons and the Pacers played one year, a guy threw a beer at Ron Artest. Ron Artest is from Queensbridge. You know what Queensbridge is?
Yeah.
Okay, he's from Queensbridge, but he's 6'10", 240 fucking pounds. Like think about some mentality.
Mm-hmm.
And I made it to the NBA. He's the guy who changed his name to Meta World Peace.
Mm-hmm.
Someone hit him with the beer.
Yeah,
He's the guy who ran into the stands instead of like beating the fucking people up. And Nori, you know who Nori is, obviously. He's on his he has it's a documentary on Showtime. And when they ask, Nori's telling the story. When Ron Artest won the NBA Finals, he thanked his therapist first. That's who the first I want to thank my therapist. Like that's how he started the speech. It's amazing, great. But no one does that. You know what I mean? Like crazy. But Nori was telling because he's from Queensbridge, telling the Ron Artest because they all grew up together. He's like, when I seen an interview, he was like, now Ron's played against LeBron James, he's played against Michael Jordan, he's guarded both of them.
Yeah.
They say like, Ron, when you who's the greatest person you ever guarded? And he's like, oh, like Mike from fucking 23B. And Nori's just dying laughing, telling the story. He's like, I went to jail with Mike from 23B. He's like mean jump shot, like you know what I mean?
That's
like,
so funny.
but you've never heard of Mike from 23B.
Yeah.
And one of the greatest defenders of all time, multiple NBA defensive award, like one of the greatest defenders ever. Ron Artest. His hardest cover was Mikey from fucking 23B. But Mikey had no ambition. There's these guys that fucking, like half these guys that paint and shit, you know what I mean? Like they're just going to paint under bridges. They're never going to fucking paint around the world. Do you know what I mean? That's a difference.
Rest in peace, a lot of people who passed.
Yeah. I mean, that's.
Because I'm not going to give reasons, but because they were very talented and something was greater than their talent.
Man, you could talk, a lot of these people died of heroin. A lot of people died of drugs. On my wall, I mean.
And I'm talking about suicide, too.
Suicide. I mean, I don't know many people that died of suicide, but death is death. The thing that I say a lot with a lot of people, too, is like, I think maybe we talked about this last time on your podcast. Actually, I think we talked about this. Is that like, do you think this lost causes? And I was like, no, but I do think that some people, life is going to catch them before they figure it out. Like, because life's out there trying to grab at motherfuckers. Like, that's going to happen. And there are definitely people that, like, they're not lost causes. They can definitely turn it around. But they're playing the game too hard. And, like, life, at some point in time, is going to come calling. And they probably won't figure it out before then. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of that shit going on.
Yeah, but you never know what will awake someone, like what will awaken someone. You never know what will inspire someone. It could be the most random thing in the whole world. And some people might be that way, but this is kind of rude, but I don't want... I try to keep people in my life that have hope. Even if they're hopeless in themselves, like, you can see when someone has a little spark. And that's important. And you like, who you're around is important.
Who you're around is everything. That actually, of all, like, there's a lot of bullshit, like, life isms. Like, that your 5 friends shit, like, the company you keep, birds of a feather, that shit is absolutely 1,000% correct. Like, there's no, you will be the average of your friends. There's no fucking way. I know that because I've been in different circles of people that do different shit. When you hang around people that do shit that go to jail, you end up going to jail. When you hang around people that, like, build businesses and start companies, you build businesses and start companies. That's just the way that fucking goes. Like, some rooms you're in, you're the only person who, well, I mean, I've been to jail, but you know what I'm saying? Like, everyone in the room's been to jail, and some rooms you're in, you're the only person that's been to fucking jail. And that room is always better.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, I'm willing to bet, too, like, I know when Griselda, they rap about all the time, like, especially Benny talks about, like, flipping that money into, like, fucking, like, legal money and house money and shit like that, you know, that kind of crap. But most people, man, when you get to, like, my age, that shit, like, isn't cool anymore. It's just not. Like, it's just, even if you, like, and when you see these guys out there that still think it's cool, they're not cool. Like, you know what I mean? You're like, oh, yeah, you're the coolest guy on your fucking block. Like, there's a fucking world out there, dude. Like, yeah, but, like, I know this fucking block is, oh, all right, dude. Like, I'll see you never. You know what I mean? Like, because I'm going to some other shit that you ain't going to be there. You get what I'm saying? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't know. So, like, when you surround yourself with that, you will be that. That's another reason why I think that you're like, yeah, man, everyone's like, no, dude, like, go ask a regular person that shit. Like, you did what? You drove from New Hampshire to fucking eastern Massachusetts to Rhode Island to western Massachusetts in a fucking, maybe New York in a fucking day. Like, why would you do that? How much you get paid? Oh, I didn't get paid anything. Like, why'd you do it? Well, if I do that enough, I'll get paid millions of dollars in a couple years. Yeah, but, like, I see that. Like, I get it. But, like, most people are like, bro, that's why you got to do shit. That's why you do all your shit by yourself.
Yeah, but you are an equation of everything that's ever happened to you. So the more you add to your equation, the better your outcome is going to be. Like, it's just simple math.
Yeah, but you can also, there's too many ingredients for a soup, too. You don't want, you know what I'm saying? Like, some soups take 5, not 6 ingredients.
Yeah.
Do you get what I'm saying? Like, there is oversaturation of things.
Well, that's what I mean about a marathon. Don't burn yourself out. Like, do enough, but you should know your means, and you have to work within your means. Like, shit. I got a message today that I can't talk about, but I will talk. I know this is such a dickhead thing to do.
Let me bring up something I can't talk about, yeah.
I know, but it's true, but it was a culmination of everything that I've wanted to do, and it won't really benefit me in any way, but it's something that I'm really excited about, so it's like, yeah, it's all worth it. Even if it's not.
What is it?
I'll tell you off, Mike.
I gotta ask. Fucking no, man. I think that I'm agreeing with what you're saying, and like I'm on your page because I am built like this. Like we talked about. I think something that's important. I think we both were sick at the same time a couple weeks ago, and we were gonna podcast and did something like that. We talked about how there was a time. I think you said, like, you'd want people to cough in your face so you can miss work. Like, you'd be like, you're like, I don't want to be at work. Like, and basically what it is like, when you hate your fucking job, you cannot wait to get fucking home.
Yeah.
And you're at a point now where, like, when you're sick, like, and you miss work, you're upset because you want to fucking be at work.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that's, I guess, where you fucking want to be. How high are you right now?
I'm pretty high.
Like,
I'm pretty high, but I'm just chill. This is like the most relaxed I've been in a minute, so I'm just happy to be.
If you want, you can, like, lay down on the couch.
I take a nap.
No, you can, like, I'll just, like, dock the cats.
How long are we into this?
About an hour. We're about to wrap this up in a second. Why, you want to go home?
No, I was just wondering. I'm high.
Yeah. All right. Yeah, man.
I'm still gonna hit this at some point.
That shit. Should we Should I get? I should get up and get the water. You're gonna
I can give like a.
You're gonna talk to. No, there's no water in it. I gotta put water in it, dude. Yeah, no, you have to put water to work. But I have to get up to do that.
I can just give.
Can you? Well, because I'm live right now. It's gonna take me a second. I don't mind getting it. I'll do it. No, it should be. We should fucking. What? No, I think it's gonna be fine though. Yeah, what? Fuck it. We're live. Why the fuck not? That's even better. Then we got a clip. Yeah, I'll be quick.
Sam ruins podcast equipment with giant bong. Do you have a microphone? You don't have a microphone, so I just have to give a monologue now? Tell a crazy story? You should get on mic. No, you have to watch her. How's the live stream been? Technology is one of those things. Oh, you got the fucking...
I had the fucking thing on deck. Look at that.
Oh, I just put out... I want to plug something, actually. I just put out my first playlist today.
Okay, what's that all about?
It's only on Apple Music. It will be up on Spotify. You can follow me on Instagram at Bucked Up Podcast to get the link in my bio. But it's songs that I've been listening to, honestly, like this week, and I'm going to do it every other week. I'm going to put together like probably 15 songs that I'm listening to most.
Are these all people like that you know and shit, or just whatever's like?
Honestly, some of them are people I know, but it's really only songs that I'm actually listening to.
What are they? Is there any? I'm sorry, I don't want to fucking spill this on my hand. Is it any specific genre?
It's mostly rap. Well, this one's all rap, but it's not going to be all rap. It's just what I'm listening to in the week. Because I always tag the musicians that I'm listening to, like, when I go to the gym.
Okay.
And people are always messaging me, like, oh, I want to know what you're listening to. Like, what have you been listening to? And so I thought, hey, let me make this playlist so people can see what I'm listening to. And a lot of it is shit you probably haven't heard. And shit that if you like rap music, you will like.
I like it, man. Any part of anything you can do where you expand like your brand in any kind of way, I'm all for that. Do you have a website yet?
I do. I have a website. It's not the best, but you can check it out at sambuckcomedy.com.
Okay.
You got some old dates up on that.
I know. I need to take those down. Do you know how to do websites? I had to figure someone out to help me with my website.
Chris, I think we're good. So when I brought this to the Harvest Cup, in the back it was packed up with everything else. It something must have fell on it, hit it somehow, and it got cracked. And I've been putting this like glue shit on it, this glass glue shit. It's like this like almost like putty looking fucking crap. And I think we're good.
So what happens? I need to.
I'll show you because we're gonna bring this motherfucker to Grass is Greener next week, which is fucking going to be amazing next weekend. We got Spencer on later today, probably like a half an hour, 40 minutes. We're going to be going live again in like 40 minutes, half an hour, probably for fucking Spencer. Going to be giving him a call as soon as I got the phone here. Yeah. Well, how long is Sam's in the car for?
Give me 9.5 minutes.
You never did this bad boy before.
I don't know. Is it like a gravity bong or something?
It's a gravity bong. So this thing right here was given to me by someone I know, and he found it. He was doing he does demolition clearouts.
Mm-hmm.
They go in like old buildings and shit, and it was in Braintree. But this thing is like precision, like fucking absolute precision. This motherfucker. I didn't think it was gonna work anymore because of the crack, but it does still work. Don't pick it up. What we're gonna do is I'm gonna pack this fucking bowl, right? And oh my god, some right there. And when you hit it, I'm gonna light it for you. We're going to get it all the way up here, right? And then when you get it to here, you're just going to put your mouth on this.
Uh-huh.
And you're going to push down,
Okay.
and all the smoke's gonna come out of the fucking thing.
Oh, I'm gonna cough a lot.
Yes, you are gonna cough a lot. But that's the whole point. It's actually no, but it's actually like science. This thing right here, the guy that made this must have really liked gravity bongs, because like it's not as you think this is gonna be worse than it is. Believe that. We've also had people fucking throw up when they've hit it. So
I'm not gonna throw up.
I mean, that has happened. Fucking, but you never know.
I love all the thank you for not smoking signs.
Yeah, every time I go to a hotel and they have one of those, I make sure I take that.
Does this still play the cassette that's inside?
It might. I got that from a weird clean out. But that's like I think that's worth money. Ferone was there one day and he was like, "Oh, you know that's worth like $1,000 or something." I'm like, "No, it ain't." And you Google it, like you go to like eBay, you're like, "Holy shit, fucking things are worth fucking money."
Cassettes are coming back.
Well, that like original fucking Panasonic like
Yeah.
play, because that's like a one that records and like does like all the like I'm talking to you like, hey, know what the fuck I'm talking about. Like they press one button, it does literally when you could record on your fucking cassette tape, and like Chris, you know the ones that came with the record, but like that was a big fucking deal. Chris, look at this bitch. It got the microphone. It got the fucking record. Dude, this right here, Sam, you have no idea. This was key. Like, that was groundbreaking tech. They were flying to the moon on this shit. Like, you know what I mean? Like, this guy, his whole fucking life, he's had an iPhone. You know what I mean? Like, fucking.
What are you done? Born in '97.
Kid's fucking whole life. Fucking kid's whole fucking. No, but it's just funny that, like, we'd have, like, that was, dude, auto replay, like, when the fucking thing, like, you didn't have to flip it over anymore. Dude, change the game. Dude, the yellow ones, you could fucking. That was the shit. That was our iPhone. That and clear telephones. Like there was a part in the '90s where everything was just like all the shit was clear.
Oh, like old Macs.
No, before then it was like game controllers, phones, lamps, like everything was just clear. Everything like you see the wires in it.
I used to have a clear like old school Game Boy.
Like a clock. Yeah, there you go. Yep, old school.
The old school. No, the old school one.
Yeah, the ones like when I was in like yeah, the ones that we bought. All right, so I'm gonna stand up and take the fucking mic away, but.
Oh, do you need a lighter?
Down, right?
Do you need a lighter?
Yep, I got it. When I pull this up, right, I'm gonna light this and pull this up. You're gonna stand above it and just put your like lips right up to that.
Okay.
You ever done a gravity ball before?
Yeah, but nothing like this. Have you ever hit this?
Oh yeah. I've all hit this plenty of times. Oh baby, here we go.
The headphones are coming off.
Oh, it's rocky. Got to get it milky.
That looks like it's gonna hurt.
There you go, buddy. So now you take this off, right? Put your lips right up to that and just push down. No. You got to keep going, my man. You got to keep going. No, you got to keep going. You got the whole fucking thing now.
Don't matter if it creeps up.
Yeah, it's gonna creep up, man. You gotta, you gotta do it all in one. Come on, that the longer you hold that, it's gonna hurt more and more, brother. You gotta go. I ain't finishing that fucking thing. Fuck that, dude. I got like another. So close.
This is someone that definitely hasn't hit ball.
No, yeah, but he's fucking champing it, man. Yo, everyone else would have gave up by now, like little bits. He did. He did it.
Yo, we used to make those things when we were kids, and they were like 5-gallon jugs.
Fuck you both. I did it.
What do you want? Fucking water there.
Oh, thank you. I will take that.
Yeah, dude. Look at your face. Look at this guy's face, dude. You are high as shit right now. That's like the best thing about it. You smoked the whole joint. Good for you. Yeah, good. No, you did. I know you did. I put a whole joint in there.
Yeah.
It's fucking good for you, man.
That was nice. It wasn't as bad as I thought it was gonna be.
No, it's like, and you actually, he stopped. Like once you stop on that, I can't go back. I have to just, I have to whoop the whole thing. Fucking.
See, I have asthma, so I learned how to smoke. Where it's like I just like I'll do a little bit of it at a time, but I'm good.
He's like, you got fucking tears coming out. Literally tears coming out of his eyes. No, I'm good. I love it. Fucking the first time I hit that thing, like it takes a minute. Oh, it takes a minute too. I forgot. Remember that? It takes a minute. Like you don't feel it at first. You're like, I'm good, and then like in like 3 minutes, you're gonna be really fucking high. Like it takes there's like a lag. I don't know. Fucking, it'll get to you.
It wasn't too bad. I enjoyed it. I
No,
smoke a good amount of weed.
No, it's good. I enjoy them too. It's definitely
I definitely coughed a lot.
definitely a unique piece.
And it worked with the crack even.
Yeah, it's like
You were worried.
I'm happy. Yeah, you know.
My job to fucking worry.
No, we're good, man. Fucking so Sam.
It
man.
is perfect.
Yeah, no, it's a fucking. It was a specific art and science to this fucking thing. I am a little nervous about it. I'm probably gonna take the water out of it in a minute because I wanna I'm gonna put another coat on it because I want to bring it to Grass is Greener. This weekend's gonna be wild. So you're gonna be where this weekend?
Plymouth, Massachusetts, at New World Tavern on 420. 421, I'm going to be at the Alley Cat in Providence, Rhode Island, headlining at 8 o'clock. And then on 422, I'm going to be in Stafford, Maine at... Give me a second. Where am I going to be in Stafford, Maine? Damn, I posted a lot. Standish, Maine at Guff's Grub and Pub.
All right.
So yeah, if you want to catch me in Mass, 420, Rhode Island, 421, Maine, 422, and then headlining next comedy stop, which is what I want everyone to come out to, 428 and 29.
Okay. And where can they find you? Like, where can they get tickets to all that shit?
Go to Bucked Up Podcast that has links to
All that
everything in
shit.
my bio, and go to Next Comedy Stop to buy tickets to Next Comedy Stop.
Word up. Where can they find you?
Find me at the Bucked Up Podcast or at Bucked Up Podcast on Instagram, YouTube, everything. Check me out.
And
It's a great
Sam
time.
Buck on Facebook at Bucked Up Podcast on Facebook. Dude, it was a pleasure. Anything else you want to tell these motherfuckers before you go?
Nah, I'm high. I
Yeah.
appreciate you. Thank you guys for having me.
Absolutely, man. Chris, good? All right, man. Everybody else out there, we back. We got Spencer probably like in a half an hour from now, 20 minutes from now. Like, follow, subscribe, all that good shit right there. This weekend, Grass is Greener will be out there. We're actually going to be at Underground Cultures. I'll be out there seeing Mike and Heather, 10-year anniversary for them, or 10-year birthday from them. But, yeah, man, back. Chris Tash Pawtcast. Fuck Kurt Schilling. Sense lives. Marty forever. You know what the fuck it is. Peace.